ladies, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman, where truth and beauty meet. One of the great fall trends coming out this in 2020 that is out right now is black eyeliner. So there's different modalities of black liner. So there's like this really thick liner. There's much more of like a dramatic kind of rock star black eyeliner all the way around, rimmed, blended out, like super intense. I tend to love I think dramatic looks can be super fun. The issue is that with older women, we can look overdone super duper easy. So I don't know if you watch Schitt's Creek. So it's hilarious, right? And the lead character, the actress whose name's suddenly Catherine O'Hara, that's who it was. Her character wears these very dramatic wigs, and she has, very dramatic makeup. And I think she won an award and thanked her hair and makeup people because that's what her character is this very dramatic person, right? So I think her makeup is an example of, okay, if you want to be dramatic, go that way. But what I'm going to talk about today is how to make this look, this dark eyeliner look, work kind of for the average person. And it does take a little bit of skill and technique. So I'm going to go through some strategies that I use to wear this sort of a look. I've worn sort of a festive top because maybe you want to do more dramatic eyeliner when you do something more fun. I mean, I know it's COVID and we're not, gathering in large groups, but I don't know about you, but sometimes I just need to look more dramatic. I just need to do it, right? It's a girl thing, right? Even if you just go into the mailbox. So I wanted to show you, before we get started, I wanted to show you a couple pictures. Now my screen is cracked on my phone, so please forgive me. I know I need to get it fixed. It's just not a top priority for me, unfortunately. But anyway, so this is one of the looks, if you can see through my cracked screen, that I want to do. So she has, liner all the way around her eye. See that? So that looks beautiful on her. She has beautiful dark skin. She's gorgeous. We're going to do a modified version of that. And then there's also this look I wanted to point out where it's very dramatic. Okay, that's the very smoky, smoked out look. This is much harder for us to wear. We don't have that face, but also it can just be too much. So I'm going to do a modified version for all of us so that we can look dramatic even when we are in the middle of COVID. Okay, so before I get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshaman.com for my blog and my store. And also be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below so that I can continue making great content for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, before we start makeup, we need to be sure we have our tea, right? You can't watch a makeup video without a little tea. So I've got my rose tea. I've been using this in the last few days. I really love it. It's wonderful. It's just this lovely rose scent and fragrance. I put a little honey in it. It's so nice. Okay, so to start off with, obviously we got to prep our face a little bit. I'm going to use the C Serum by Truth Treatments. This is a vitamin C serum. It is loaded with fat-soluble vitamin C, which means it gets beneath the dermis layer on my skin, hydrates it all the way down. You can use it around your eyes. It's a fantastic, such a great product. It retails for $200 on my site. Please use the code SHAMAN20 for 20% off. I do put all those codes down below for anything that you're interested in. I don't sell everything I'm using. I just sell a few products. All right, so let's do a little bit of primer. So I'm going to use the Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Primer. I'm going to blend this in. It just helps your makeup to stay on and it helps it to not rub off on masks as easily, because we're living in these masks, right? I just did a video on masks, so watch that one, but I'm not sure when I'm going to post that one actually. So this just helps everything stay on, helps your makeup not move. I'm going to use a little Face and Body MAC product here. I love this foundation. It's a light to medium coverage, holds up beautifully. It looks awesome under hot lights because I use it on talent, but it also just works for every day. So I'm just going to use a little of that and put it on with my fingers. If you want more intensive instruction, please go to my website. I have courses where I teach Makeup 101. There are 7 videos. Very thorough. I think if you're interested in really knowing how to do this in a really thorough way, I would say definitely take the Makeup 101. I also have a advanced makeup if you make videos like I do. Or go in front of a camera at all, maybe for your Zoom meetings, that sort of thing. If you do a lot of those right now, I think the advanced is really phenomenal, addresses that topic. And also it shows you how to set up a home studio, which would be like the one I have here. I do that with lighting director Ruben, and it's really excellent video on how to set up a home studio. So check that out. All right, so my under eye area, I'm just going to use my, all right, this is amazing concealer. I love this product. It's wonderful. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this. This color is medium golden that I'm using. They have all different shades. They have a huge array of shades, whatever your skin color. And I'm just going to see how, like I needed half of what I put on my hand. I mean, it really is just such a beautiful concealer. And I'm just going to use my ring finger to tap that around my eye area. I put it on my lid. If you have oily lids, don't do that. I do it because I have a lot of discoloration on my lids, and it really helps to clear that out. And I also put it just underneath. If you have a lot of red or discoloration underneath your eye, you can put it there. This doesn't set in fine lines, so it's a wonderful product. I can even put it on the outer edge and it won't set, so love that. And then I'm going to cover my age spots on my nose a little bit. Just tap that in. This does, when I put concealer on my nose, it does tend to come off a little on my mask. So, you know, be sure you really powder that if you put concealer, a heavier product on your nose like that. I think the foundation holds up well if you use like a primer on top with a mask. So I am going to powder my skin, but just not yet. I'm going to go a little further with all this. So I'm going to use the color here to put in my eyebrows, just to extend them slightly. I need to color my hair. Can you see that? I did change my hair. For those of you who watch my videos, I cut off 3 inches and got it highlighted. And it's just, I just decided it's fall, doggone it, I'm changing my hair. I change my hair a lot. So I really like to do that. It's fun. It's one of the things that I can really play with, right? Along with makeup. Okay, I'm going to use a little bronzing powder in order to really, because my face is quite, you know, all one color right now. So I'm going to just jazz it up a little bit, add a little bit of dimension. And this is medium, and this is a Bobbi Brown contour, which I really am in love with. So it really works really well. Look at that. Just kind of a nice reddish color. Sort of matches the color on my chest. I don't know if you can see that with the cropping here. But that's the color you really want to match, depending on your skin tone, is the color that your chest, because that's where the sun hits. All right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right underneath my cheekbones a bit. Now I have a thin face, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of this. Some of you really follow that Instagram look and really go crazy with your contour or your bronzer. I would encourage you to not. I think if you have a round face, definitely go crazy. You can definitely do a lot. I think as you get older, less is more. Otherwise, we can look overdone very, very easily. So I would say modify it so that it's just like what I've just done. Just kind of a light, soft, just adding a little bit of a shape right there, okay? All right, I'm going to put a little bit of blush on. So I'm going to do this color right here. This is my professional kit, so it's loved. But this is just a lovely Chanel shade. I'm using kind of a brighter color because I have a bright shirt on. And I don't want the shirt to overtake me. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my brow bone. There we go. That's nice. And I can brighten that up when I'm done, right, if I need to, just in getting the whole thing to be balanced. All right, I'm going to do lips, and then I'm going to do eyes last. So on my lips, I'm going to do, this is called Sean Richards out of London. So I love this palette. It's lovely. Look how thick that is. I mean, this is great for my professional work. I will put a link below. But I'm going to use this color right here. So I'm going to go for more of a sheer lip. And the reason for that is that I'm really doing up my eyes. Okay, we're really going to do a lot of black eyeliner. And because of that, it's important that you go sheer on your lips, all right? So I would pick where you're going to have the focus. If you're going to go a lot of blush, then I would go neutral on everything else. If you're going to do a lot of eyes, same thing, right? So in this look, I'm just going to do a sheer warm lipstick just to kind of bring out my lips, but I'm really going to play up the eye. All right, I'm going to do a little tiny bit of powder now, just to powder down my eyes so that the powder that I put on it doesn't streak, because powder definitely streaks on dewy skin. All right, so now we're to eyes. All right, so I'm going to use a color all over my eyes, and I'm going to kind of pack it in, right? Because I really want, if you remember the photograph, she had a very sheer, not sheer, but very clean, right? There wasn't a huge amount of color between her eyebrow and her lid. So we're going to make this really, really clean. And I'm going to use this color here called Canvas. So we're staying with, excuse me, we're staying with just a really neutral, sheer, warm. We're going to go more warm just because I'm wearing a warm shirt, warm colored shirt. But I'm going to use this. And these brushes are by Moda. So these are synthetic. I have a link down below. They're not expensive, and they come in these really great kits, and I think they're definitely worth a look, just because, you know, I call this my disco brush, right? But they're inexpensive, they come in kits, and they work. I mean, what else can you say, right? I'm pretty basic, right? All right, so I put that mainly on my lid. You can still see a little bit of the blush that's up in here, but it's on my lid, and I've really just cleaned that all the way out. All right, now we're going to go to liner, and then I'm going to go back after I do liner and put in a color, a shade in here. Okay, so let's do liner. So we're going to do, I'm going to start off with, this is the Jane Iredale Onyx. So it comes with a cute little brush in the top, which is great. I'm not going to use that brush. I'm going to use my own brush because I'm me. But it's lovely, right? It looks like that. And Jane Iredale is clean beauty. So if you're into clean beauty, I would say Jane Iredale is a great brand. I carry some of their products on my website. Definitely check that out on my website. And this, I do carry this actually. But I think their liners are good. They hold up really well. They're not waterproof, which is fine. So I'm going to use this. And this is a cream. And I'm going to use it in conjunction with a brush. It looks like that. Okay. We're going to go, I'm going to start at the outer edge, and I'm going to really do more of a line, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to smoke it out a little bit so it's not quite so liney looking. So I'm going to stick it right next to my lashes. And I do pull my eye a little bit. One of you can yell at me about that. And I'm just going to pull it all the way across. Just think of it as going between your lashes. Really just think of that. That's the easiest way for me to describe this. It definitely takes some dexterity and practice to get it even, but okay, we're getting more dramatic. Now I'm going to wing it a little bit. So I'm going to coat this brush a little bit more, and I'm going to measure this so that it goes out. So I get a little bit of a wing right there. Not a huge wing. Just a little bit. If you go too far out, a lot of times it will crease in your lid, depending on how hooded your lids are. I did a video with my friend Tiffany called How to Do Wing Liner for Hooded Lids. So definitely check that out. I'll put that in the upper corner there for you to check out. But I think that's a really good, some really good strategies in there on how to do that. But I don't have hooded lids, but I'm just going to do a bit. Okay, so that's one eye right there. Now you can see it's a little bit jittery, and you can see the edges and that sort of thing. So I'm going to clean that up. Why don't I just clean that up right now since we're talking about it, and then I'll go back and do the other eye. So I'm going to take this brush, which is a slanted brush, and I'm going to run a black. So I've got a black color here in the Lorac palette I showed you earlier, and I'm going to run this over the top. And that just smooths out all the edges. Makes it so that it also sets it, right? So it's not quite, it's not going to move as easily if you set it with a little bit of eyeshadow. Okay, so I filled it in with a little bit of eyeshadow. So you've got like that dramatic line that you saw on that beautiful model's face. And now we're going to take the exact same black, not liner. We're going to use the eyeshadow, and we're going to pull it a little bit down underneath. And connect it to this a little bit, not a lot, just enough so that it, you know, really has more of that very stylized kind of look to it. The stylized liner look is really in for fall. I find these looks really time consuming to create. On the other hand, they can be really beautiful if you want to look a little bit more dramatic. All right, lastly on this eye, before I do the next eye, I'm going to use a black. This is actually more of a smoke. This is a Bobbi Brown pencil, and I'm going to put this underneath. Ooh, poke myself in the eyeball. So you don't have to use black all the way around. This is smoke. It's just a little bit more charcoal, which I think is totally fine. You can also use another color, like I could use green, or grape would be incredible, or even warm brown. You don't have to match everything, okay? You can be creative. All right, so to continue this eye, we're gonna use a crease brush right here. And I'm gonna use a color in the crease, but it can't compete with everything else, right? Because the most dramatic thing is that liner, and we don't want it to compete, so we're gonna use taupe. All right, so this is taupe right here. Now, taupe tends to have a little bit of a rosy undertone, so be careful your taupe isn't too pink. I think this one will be fine. And I'm going to dip my product in there, and I'm going to go in the crease, but just enough so that this doesn't look as washed out as it currently looks, okay? So I'm going to start kind of in the middle, gently, because I don't want to overdo it. And I'm going to pull that up just right in here, just to open that up. So a little bit Marilyn Monroe here, okay? Just a little bit. And just play with that. Get that in the crease. And that actually really opens up the eye more and helps the liner to stand out more. So now I'm going to put a little bit of a iridescent color just on top here. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do to this eye before I switch over and do the other eye is I'm going to put a little tiny bit of shimmer right in the middle, because I just love shimmer. Who doesn't love a little shimmer? Isn't that pretty? So very dramatic, okay? We're also going to do false lashes, so let me do the other eye and I'll pop some lashes on and we'll have a look, okay? Okay, so the drama is on, right? I've got my eye standing out, a very neutral, no, not neutral, but minimal lipstick so that the eyeliner is really the focus. So this is great if you just want to look like your eyes, or it's all about your eyes, okay? I've also softened everything down with a little bit of black eyeshadow, so it's not quite as stark of a look as if it was just a liner. Okay, so I'm putting little false lashes on. I've got my Lash and Crown, my favorite lashes. These are vegan. I just love them. So I'm going to put these on and we will be right back. Okay, ladies, so this is the fall 2020 black eyeliner look, tailored to be more for older women. Now, for some of you, this look is way over the top, right? Some of you are going to be like, yeah, I'm like never doing that. But for some of you, it might be like, yeah, I could probably get away with that. Especially with the false lashes. If you like false lashes or wear them, I know some of you do. And then the winged liner isn't as dramatic once you put the false lashes on, right? Because you've got more going on the upper part of your lashes. Or maybe you get those fake lashes put on. I can't remember what they're called suddenly. Anyway, but this can definitely be wearable. And, you know, I've not rimmed it too much underneath because that has a tendency to pull our eyes down as we get older. This look definitely takes more time and effort. However, if you're going to the mailbox and you want to look really amazing during COVID, or if you're going on camera, I mean, sometimes these looks on camera are not nearly as dramatic as to the naked eye, and can look really spectacular for if you have an interview or I don't know what you're doing. But in any case, if you can pull it off, I think it's a really fun look to try. And just remember to balance everything out, right? So if you've got the really dramatic eyes, then go for the little bit more of a sheer lip. So I hope this has been helpful. Please write down below. I love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman.